For centuries, Italy has been celebrated for its unmatched culinary beauty. We picture warm family kitchens, fresh pasta, rich olive oil, and endless golden harvests. But hidden directly behind that beautiful image is a reality of freezing winters, empty farms, and starving villages cut off from the outside world. When successive harvests failed and winter set in, the local food supply collapsed entirely. Desperate villagers were left with absolutely nothing. They couldn't waste a crumb, not a single peel, or even the wild weeds growing between the cobblestones. They were forced to create extreme, dangerous meals that remain almost unimaginable today. Extreme starvation eventually strips away the boundary between what we consider food and what we consider pure, desperate survival. When the pantries first went bare, the scavenging phase began immediately. Every possible byproduct of daily life was repurposed. After wine production finished, families collected the leftover grape seeds. They dried them out, roasted them, and crushed them into a coarse, bitter powder used to stretch whatever weak flour they had left. They gathered empty chestnut shells, the hard, discarded outer casings, and boiled them continuously to extract a thin, watery broth, simply to have a warm liquid in their stomachs during freezing nights. With standard grain nearly extinct, families crept into bakeries after closing time. They scraped blackened berg flour and dirty bread remnants directly off the oven floors, mixing the debris with water to form a smoky, gritty paste. These methods represented a calculated caloric strategy used only to stop the physical pain of starvation for one more night. Eventually, even the bakery scraps disappeared. When physical calories vanished, the focus shifted to the sensation of eating itself. Parents would slowly boil a single onion in clear water to create the mere suggestion of a meal. They served this onion water soup to their children, often claiming they had already eaten their own portions earlier, despite having had nothing at all. This diagram illustrates stone soup. River stones placed in boiling water absorbed heat, keeping the water hotter longer. Swallowing this intense heat made the water feel physically heavier in a starving child's stomach, providing a temporary reprieve from an empty gut. When zero nutrition was available, even the sensation of warmth became a tool to quiet the immediate panic of a starving body. As the body continues to break down, the brain stops prioritizing physical safety. Hunger removes the fear of bodily harm. Workers began collecting the hard pits left over from olive pressing. They crushed them into a coarse powder and baked them into bread. The texture was like sand, and people frequently shattered their teeth trying to chew it. Families mixed crushed wild weeds directly into their dough to create a bitter green bread. Sometimes poisonous plants were accidentally mixed in, but the immediate need for food outweighed the risk of toxicity. Once the local environment was completely stripped bare, the deepest social taboos began to fall. High in the mountains, villagers scraped the raw inner bark off of trees. They dried it out and ground it into a bitter, rough powder that barely held together as a dough. In overcrowded, destitute districts, families resorted to trapping rats in the dead of night. They boiled them secretly with strong herbs to mask the smell, then kept the meals hidden from their neighbors and denied the practice for generations. This marks the bottom of the desperation curve. Starvation strips away social standing and deep-seated taboos long before it actually destroys the physical body. The culmination of this era was hunger bread. It was a heavy, gray, lifeless mixture of weeds, ground beans, crushed shells, and tree bark. It tasted like dirt and offered minimal nutrition. But this dense, desperate block of calories could keep a person standing for one more day, and perhaps survive for one more winter. While the world celebrates the famous feasts of Old World Italy, many families kept the memory of these specific meals hidden for decades, a private history of how they actually made it through the winters. These unrecognizable meals stand as a testament to pure human instinct. Faced with extinction, people found a way to transform discarded waste into endurance, keeping their bloodlines alive. Which of these survival foods shocked you the most? And if you had absolutely no choice, could you eat any of them? Let me know in the comments below, and subscribe for more hidden histories of human